It may be a bit easier to press one of the strings down, so you take a bit. You're resting like that. I don't see why not. Actually, you're right, that's easy. I wasn't doing that. I like to flick my hand in there again. And it's also when you're going to do a chord. You need to be up in the air.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't normally rest. No.
So you're roll.
Just show me slowly what you're going to do. So the best way to practice is on one note, where you do. And almost invariably that last note is going to be either a single note or a chord, but it's going to be accented. So yeah. So you can practice doing a little. Eventually you can start using that finger as well on one note.
On your rolls, how many fingers do you use? I don't use the little finger.
For rolls, yes, a downward roll, you use your little finger.
So you do as well, because I don't. I use just this one.
Show me. You're not doing a roll properly. You're doing too much hand movement. You've got to practice the difficult thing, which is doing just finger movement. And once you've achieved that, you can put in the hand movement to assist it. But basically, it's got to be that finger movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start by counting it out individually. Can I? You're used to this
yes,
one. Can I stop that? So roll just the fingers and rolls followed by the thumb. For the big roll, which uses the thumb, comes all in one movement. But if you only use 3 fingers, you're going to get a very empty sound. Very important. Now, upward roll. You know, you do an upward roll. You're going to use just 3 fingers? Stop. Show me again. But don't do it that way. You start with the index finger.
You actually use all 4 of them?
Use all 4. And you spread out your fingers like that. That's what's going to happen. I can't make it sound at such a slow speed, but that is what you do. Spread out your fingers. This time is slightly cooler. That's the effect. Nice spaced out. You've got 4 notes there. But that is a nice clear roll effect. If you just go, oh, I can't imitate how you did it, but you get.
It's harder to make mistakes anyway.
There's another thing that Bibs does notice that we might not be aware of, and that is use the scratch board as a guide to where you put your fingers.
Using the scratch board?
Yeah. You let your hand run across it, don't you? Like that. Touch it.
I don't like touching, I don't touch. The only way I touch it is when...
Yeah.
You only touch it to rest on it.
That's all.
No, sometimes you use it to guide you. In the roll, for example, I think it's impossible to do an upward roll without using it.
Which is another reason why you need a good
here.
scratch board, isn't it? That doesn't actually scratch.
This is hard, it's death.
Well, that's scratchy material and sounds like and feels like sandpaper.
We can change that. We can make it better, but that's a useful point.
So upward rolls. See, there's useful things about upward rolls. In a different place in the bar. I'm only using 3 fingers for that upward roll because I only want 3 notes.
Okay, no.
I can never get it straight away. An unusual use, but very effective, like a syncopation of an upward roll, but only using 3 fingers. So when you practice an upward roll, you've got to practice it clearly. 3 fingers, 4 fingers. 4 fingers, of course, that's what you want most of the time, but every note clearly. Let's look again at the bigger question of the double pizzicato, because it really is a difficult one. I must repeat. Oh yes, I am. I wonder if you'd find an ashtray. It's like a cigarette advertisement. So your 2 fingers spaced this way, the index finger nearer to the head of the instrument, with your thumb towards the base of the instrument, and you curl up your other fingers like that underneath, because they're going to rest on the scratch plate. For argument's sake, we'll start it like that. Now, thumb first, thumb, index finger, thumb, index finger. And there really is only... No, you're moving your fingers. You've got to keep them stiffly like that. So your index finger is over this side. Now keep them stiffly in one place. The fingers don't move at all. The index finger is slightly curved. In fact, you can touch. I said I touch them almost. They're touching, and all they do is ever so slightly move, a sort of fraction, a couple of millimeters. But I practice it slowly, and you practice it loud. That's the main thing. So as you don't end up cheating and playing ever so quiet and moving your fingers, you must practice loud. As long as you can practice, as long as you can do it loudly, it means you can do it. You can always, if you can do it loudly, you can do it softly, but not the other way around necessarily. So find a comfortable position and practice loudly like this. Do not cross your fingers and wiggle them, or do not wiggle your fingers that way. You will never get any speed, you will never get loud like that. But this way, stiff fingers, stiffly held in place, the minimum of movement. That's how to practice, and it's very difficult.
I realise that, yeah.
Takes a long time, so you've got to practice slowly a little bit every day. Stiff fingers, no movement, that's the rule. Right, show me something else so we can, I can end up answering a question for you.
Well, false harmonics.
False harmonics.
Now you played something like Wonderful, Wonderful Copenhagen on the record.
Well, the basis of false harmonics is you've got 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So, and you just select what you want.
Yeah, but speed.
So here I'm using the basic harmonic, the one in the middle, fretboard, which is obviously impractical when it comes to not having to jump all over the place with this hand as well. You're looking at this hand to see where your harmonic is going to be. You don't have to be looking at this hand as well.
That's right.
Because you'll get lost. So with this wonderful Copenhagen, when I used all the harmonics, it was a very difficult job working it out, let me tell you. What I was looking for was a way of playing harmonics without only keeping these fingers in this within range. So most of the time I do. Let's see. by hardly moving my hand anyway. That is the advantage, for a little effect or a trick if you like, of false harmonics.
Yeah.
As you've got to sit so critical exactly where you do the false harmonics, because if you're slightly out, obviously
it's gonna sound
it's thump. So the only thing is that you mustn't look at your left hand at all, you've got to look at your right hand, so keep your hand in one position.
Yeah, I keep twanging my string, you know, if it's not done properly. Or if I'm doing it wrong, it buzzes. So.
Yes, lots of practice and you get a nice sore thumb as a result. So that's the main theory. If ever you're going to be working anything out like Balalaika, if you work out the next bit, again what you need to do is to work it out so that you keep this hand in the same position.
Yeah. Another thing, if I do tremolo on one string properly, I'm sort of holding this like a plectrum.
Well, the thing is, it's very difficult. You've got to first of all practice pizzicato on one string. Don't even try getting a tremolo until you've got a good pizzicato, a single pizzicato. Just take a note because the string moves down slightly, making it easier. I'm angling down like that with my thing. It's no good going across. It's got to be down. You've got to hit the string. It's a very rough thing. Single pizzicato. So I'm hitting the string. Again, I'm practicing loud. You always practice loud. If you can do it loud, you can do it soft. So practice loud. Single string tremolo, very difficult thing in itself. You only get by getting single string pizzicato. So that's the secret. Angle down like that, hard. It's no good. There's no good doing it soft. Well, again, I can't demonstrate because I've achieved it. It's also a question of the finger getting shaped in time. There's no other way. It'll sound. This downstroke will sound different from the upstroke inevitably until you get the hang of it.